Tell me a little bit about some of the things that you learned as a 20-something founder starting your own business. What are 5 things that you would kind of give as tips or tidbits to someone that would be in the same situation as you?
You're in over your head. No.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kemal Whyte. I am the founder and CEO of Grassroots Harvest and GRH Kratom. I would say the most important thing is you need to keep learning. You're 20-something, 21, 22, 23, whatever it may be. The reality is you're just really starting your adult life, and you might have some ideas and you might have the drive to execute those things, but you have so much left to learn. There is so much that goes into communication, execution, discipline that are core fundamentals that can't be easily taught. You have to learn them over time, and you have to learn them by reflecting on your experiences. When you're 20-something and you're starting a company, you're going to be plagued by many issues. One of them being imposter syndrome. You need to understand what you do better than anyone you speak with. And with that, you gain a certain confidence that can only be acquired through time and effort. If you stop learning, you go into stagnation. If you stagnate as a small business owner, you're bound to go out of business. Focus on learning and developing your skills and gaining new skills. Continuing education is one of the best tools for remaining relevant.
So you're talking about learning and being a sponge and soaking up information and experiences. Who do you go to kind of find that information?
You need to find sources of information from many different angles. If you stick strictly to your industry, you are limiting yourself so significantly. As being a small business owner, you are playing many different roles at many different times and sometimes at the same time. Learning from someone who is a great military leader that has to push people to do things that are difficult. Understanding a teacher that is able to communicate very complex tasks to small children who are learning things for the first time. These are all facets of understanding that come from drastically different areas.
Give me one example maybe of somebody that you kind of leaned on a little bit and felt like you learned something from.
One of my greatest influences I can think of right now would be a gentleman named Dave that ran the Garden of the Ancients. He really enforced me diving deep into my passions and understanding the science of what I did to such a degree that I was able to have a conversation with anyone about it. That level of confidence in what you do turns out to ripple across all your interactions in that field. Having a passion for what you do is very important, but turning that passion into true education, true knowledge, and gaining the wisdom of how to communicate that to anyone, from a layman to another expert, is a very powerful tool. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We're talking about how business is PvP,
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be ruthless. So what does that mean to you?
So, PvP, that's a gamer term for player versus player. It's, hey, me versus you. That is where competition happens. Nothing helps you get better and more effective at what you do than playing against another human. Being PvP does not restrict you specifically to only competing. It means that you guys get to learn and become better competition for each other, and in that sense, you actually become better servants of your clients. We want to set our standard, we want to be better than we were the year before, and we want to set the standard in the way we communicate with our competition and work towards improving the industry as a whole. A community that works towards setting a standard for how anything should be done is going to be far better off in the long run than ones that compete just to see who can get the bottom dollar or who can snag the most customers without any care for morality.
What I have written down here is you will fail, and it's a good thing.
Failure is inevitable if you're trying. If you find that you're always succeeding and never run into a failure, the reality is you're not pushing yourself to your max. You're not even coming anywhere close, honestly, because you don't even need to be at your max to run into failure. Learning is best done from failure. When you succeed at what you do, that's great and it's an amazing feeling, but you don't learn quite as much. Why? Because what did you do wrong? Well, I don't know what I did wrong. Everything worked out in the end, so what would I change? But when you fail, you have points of failure. You have things you're able to look back at and question. You can actually start to test different ways of doing things and see how those outcomes change, giving you a far greater understanding of what each change meant and how that rippled across to the final result. Trying to get everything right the first time, every time, is bound to set you in a position of complacency and stagnation. You cannot grow if you're not willing to also fail.
I have written down here, The quality of people you surround yourself with determines success. How does that resonate with you?
Okay, so what does the saying go? You're the average of your 5 closest friends. The people you surround yourself with should know things you don't. They should be capable in ways you're not. They should add value to your life and you should add value to theirs. That goes for employees, that goes for those you associate with, that goes for just anyone you spend time with. As a 20-something founder, you are smack dab in the middle of intense growth when most people are ready to have fun and party, enjoy the beginning of their adult life. Business isn't easy. Very little of this comes naturally to anyone. Having people in your corner, people that surround you that are able to help you refine what you do, allow you to sound better on camera, edit you in your words so that you can make great articles, take things that you can think of and allow them to be made on a mass scale. Everyone that you surround yourself with matters. Not having advisors or people you trust, people who can be truly honest with you, is a sad place to be as a business owner. Being a business owner and a 20-something entrepreneur is a pretty lonely place to be. Having people who understand how your mind works and why you're doing these difficult things that seem to not make any sense prior to you achieving success is important. Those people are the ones who will be by your side, help you become better, be your resources for solving problems or finding solutions to everyday life and or business, and will be the friends and family that you are able to sit with and share your success after you've achieved your goals.